Pisces, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. As per usual, if you click right on that description box below, it'll talk about the significance of the spread and the placement of each card. I see a lot of stagnation here. So it looks to me like you are spending a lot of time focusing on the past. Okay. And the reason you're focused so hard on the past is because you are trying to make a decision. But something has happened where you're spending too much time analyzing what's happened and you're not making a decision. So this is stagnation due to indecision. It's kind of like, your intentions for this are good. You know what I mean? You're actually trying to look back at how things are and how things were and seeing how you want things to move forward in your life. But there's a lot of decisions that need to be made and you're just kind of stuck. So what happens is you go to this safe place where you go to all the happy times in your past, and then before you know it, you're not paying attention to all these choices and decisions that you know you have to make. So you're just kind of stuck without making any real decisions to move forward. You're kind of hoping somebody else will make decisions for you. It's like you don't want to take the lead in this situation. You're waiting for somebody else to kind of put forth a little effort. But the problem with that is you're putting all of the power into somebody else's hands. So this is your journey card here, and the Chariot in the upright tells me that this person, because the Chariot represents time, okay? The person represents willpower, and the two Sphinxes represent opposing forces. So when you utilize your time, or when you use your willpower to balance out the forces, then you can utilize your time properly to achieve your goals, to make it to your destination. Because once you get a Chariot rolling, it's hard to stop it. When I see the Chariot in the inverse for your journey card, which is the position it was in the inverse. This tells me that the situation has control of you and you don't have control of the situation because you're too busy looking back at the way things were and getting lost in the way things were that you're not focusing on the decisions at hand. You're giving all the power over to whoever is willing to take charge of the situation. And then you're going to be stuck dealing with their outcome and their decisions because you aren't making the decisions on your own. You are not taking the time you need to contemplate the here and now in order to make the decisions that you need to make for the future. So like I said, by staying in this reminiscing energy and not actually making the decisions forward, you're just being pulled along by the other party in this situation. Now, this could be another person or this could be a group of people. Okay? It doesn't have to be one person. Oh, I see. There's potential for loss here. That's why it's hard to make decisions. You see, you're bringing something of value to the table. But when you put the pieces of the puzzle together, you're recognizing so you're always the one doing the work. You're always the one putting in your time and energy. You see how this represents you in the past, giving your time and energy, being generous to somebody else. And here you are in the future, also willing to give your time and energy, willing to bring that to somebody, being somebody's knight in shining armor. But as you put the pieces of the puzzle together, you realize that there's a little bit of heartache in that. Okay? So the other person may not be meeting you in the middle, or the other person or people might be in this for all the wrong reasons. Like you're putting your heart and soul into it and they're just kind of there. You know what I mean? Have you ever been in a situation like that before where you're putting in all the work, you're doing all the stuff and they're just kind of along for the ride? But if you're allowing the person who's just along for the ride to make decisions, yeah, see, look. Then who's the one who's still putting in? So the other person's making the decisions, but you're putting in all the work. The other person is saying, this is where this relationship or this friendship or this group dynamic is going, but I'm just going to say what we do and where we go, and then I'm going to need you to go ahead and put in all the effort to make sure these things happen for me. It feels to me very much like at one time you were both putting in a little bit of effort, and now the other person has just gotten used to you doing all the work, and you've gotten used to them making all the decisions. So if this is an interdependent relationship, maybe you guys are just finding the niche. But if it is an interdependent relationship, why is it that when you really sit back and think about it, it hurts? It feels to me, Pisces, I know this word gets thrown around a lot, but it kind of feels like codependence. Actually, it does. Here's what it feels like. It feels like you've become comfortable in this relationship and they've become comfortable in this relationship, and you guys are just kind of going through the motions, right? And do you want a relationship where you go through the motions, or do you want a relationship where you're both very passionate and you build each other up? So this may not be heartbreak. This might be a lack of wish fulfillment because you're settling for mediocrity. Now, that doesn't mean you have to leave this person, leave this group dynamic, whatever it is. It just means that you need to communicate with this person about what it is that you want. You guys need to set some expectations for where you want things to go, and you guys both need to give equally. Pisces, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next week.